I'm on the wrong mic, but
Hello. I'm going to be painting on here for a little bit, and I was told that you guys want to see it, and I saw a comment on Jack Show that you guys wanted to see me use an airbrush. Unfortunately, my airbrush broke, and the replacement will not be here until later this evening because it's 2:17 in the morning for me. So, what is up, everyone? So, I'm going to be painting, I guess, me as Velma. And I have my screen right here. I'll have the chat up right there. But you guys will get to see me paint and probably just the side of my head for a while. But hello, everyone. Hello. Let me switch my microphone.
here we go.
All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Yay, nay. All right. So let's see. Maybe I should get the chat up on here. So I have my blue microphone right there. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. There's not space on this little thing. So what I did first, I'll just hold it. All right. So what I did first on this was I transferred Cecil's beautiful sketch. I did read the comments on the Jack Show. Someone went into extreme autistic detail on the clan and their robes. I am limited to Cecil's artistic vision. Okay? Think of it as I am the colorist. Cecil is the inker. So, because Cecil did not draw a background, I was given the privilege of making up a background. So, that is all me and my experience watching Scooby-Doo avidly as a child. So, I was like, instead of having it a pure yellow background, Scooby-Doo, when they're running from people, are in the woods usually. And it will be a very cool effect, I think, with the burning cross. Can anybody I'm not up to date. I'm not very educated on the gentlemen in the cloaks. I don't know why they burn crosses. If I kind of want to know why, but I also don't. But so I might start adding the little effects there, but I don't know. I kind of want to wait for my airbrush to add that, and I did want to wait for my airbrush to paint John and Tulip since they're going to be right there. What I would usually do is it's kind of like this thin plasticky stuff. You put it on, you cut it off with an X-Acto knife. That way when you're spraying with the airbrush, it doesn't get on the rest of the painting. So depending on how much energy I have, I'm going to paint me, Velma. And I did discuss the colors with Cecil. I want him to be red, obviously, and I think it's going to pop a lot more. Now, what I just did, for those that so this isn't like this is basically the canvas, and what I will do is I use black gesso. So these canvases always come in white. I like to paint on a darker surface personally. So I go over the canvas with gesso. Gesso protects the canvas because I paint with oils. And over time, the oils will, if you don't prep the canvas correctly, it will like basically make it disintegrate. So that is why you need to prep your surfaces with gesso. This is why, like, if you look through art history, it's like, oh, how come like only these people are the ones that we learn about? It's like, well, those are the ones that knew about prepping their surfaces, and that's why they lasted so long. That's why you'll see some paintings in a museum that look like they could have been painted yesterday versus some that they're like hundreds of years old. And then you see other paintings that are like chips and like they're behind all this glass, and it's like if you breathe on it, it'll just wither away. So that all comes with prepping your surface. So you need to always prep with gesso, especially if you're using oils. Acrylics is a bit different. But so for this, I prepped it. And then what I do is, so I didn't have to really do this with the background. I will rough sketch everything out with the paint. Like I just get it really loosely and I'll just, I roughly just sketch out what I want, which is what I did with the trees. And a lot of it, I leave it up to my own how to say this, movements. I think like it would be very different if I was drawing industrial buildings, but because I'm drawing organic, uh, elements like trees and leaves and stuff, I think it looks a lot better if it's like loosely planned out and then you go in. So that's what I did with the background. But for those that want to give me autistic level detail of how you want these gentlemen painted, and I'm assuming they're gentlemen because I don't know if the ladies are allowed in this little fan club group. So trust me, I like how they again, if you want to go on the Last Jack Show and read this comment, it's pretty intense. But this is Cecil's drawing. And I like how this person went into autistic level detail about these gentlemen, but it had no comments on the anatomy of Cecil's beautiful art skills. Is that better? Can you hear me? So yeah, I am limited to what Cecil drew. And yeah, so if anyone wants to get a video on me about that, maybe tell Cecil to take some anatomy classes. But so the way I'm going to approach this, because I'm assuming that we are supposed to be the focal point. And so what I'm doing, and this is my plan for it. So you have a foreground, middle ground, background. This cross, I'm assuming, is supposed to be part of the background, considering it's behind us. But even though these gentlemen are in the foreground, I want us to be the focus. So the way that's going to work is, even though I'm assuming these gentlemen wear white, I'm going to paint it very dark. And so this is all going to be very dark, and it's going to have very high contrast highlights on them, especially in front of us. And before I paint them, though, I am going to go in with an airbrush. I need us to be painted first. So the only thing I can get done tonight, because I'm limited on the fact that my airbrush broke. So what I'm going to be able to paint tonight is probably just me or Velma, and then maybe Cecil. I really don't want to, because Cecil and I are having creative differences. He wants to be like Fred, and I want him Fred in red. I want Cecil to be in red because it's going to look so much better, because Fred, he wears a white shirt and blue pants. Now, I might give in and give him a white shirt, but I want Cecil to be in red because everything else on here is blue. And if I make him like that, it's going to make the painting look really flat. And I don't like that. So if you ever see like images of Scooby-Doo, like if you even look at Fred's usually not the focus. Scooby-Doo is usually the one that's in the foreground. Because Fred, he wears white and blue, so they usually put him behind the other characters. Fred's like very rarely in the middle, and it's never on like a cover for a film. So I might give in and give Cecil just a white shirt, but I want to keep Cecil's pants red and obviously his little mask red. But so what I'm going to do, and I'm explaining the plan so everyone in the chat knows, which, by the way, hello to everyone in the chat. I'm actually surprised by some of you in here, considering I have seen you in other chats talking shit. You know who you are. But yeah. So if you guys are interested, this is my game plan. Paint myself, maybe bits of Cecil, but as far as John and Tulip, I really don't want to do too much. What I did is I just went in with the base color, because again, everything on my canvas starts off as black, and then I just lay in the color, so that way when I do go into paint, I already like mentally, I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to mix brown. And Shaggy wears like more, they're brown, but it's like more of a burgundy burnt sienna type of brown. So I'll have to go in with that, which might, I don't know, it might conflict with Cecil. So I might just save Cecil for last, because it's driving me crazy. But okay, for the 100th time, I'll probably just end up painting myself, because that's all I really can get done tonight. Tomorrow, when my airbrush gets in, I'll be able to add the fire onto the cross. And I'm going to do it really lightly because I don't want the fire and that effect to take away from the drama. I want this to kind of be in the background and kind of further back so they're more forward. And so what will happen is once I add in the fire, I'll blend out like the bottom right here of I know it's kind of harder for you guys to see, but so the cross is right here. It is very dark because it's nighttime and I wanted it to be in the background. So I'll lightly add the fire, and I want the effect on John and Tulip. I want a little bit of a rim light there, so that way there's still like a glow and maybe like a tiny bit right here on Cecil, and on me it really wouldn't reach me. But Cecil didn't draw it, so I don't know if I should add it or not, but don't these guys like hold torches? So this is a hard thing. So because John told me I think it's like a half an inch he needs a bleed. So I don't want to put any details on the side, but if I did want to add an effect, I could make these gentlemen have like glow, like the torches are in front of them, like they're holding it like down here or something. So it makes them look kind of ominous. So there will be a glow, like a yellowy glow on them. And I don't know if I'm going to describe this very well, so bear with me. I'm more of I can show you what I'm talking about. The words, I'm not very eloquent, let's say that. Okay, but actually, here's a good example. You see how I have the glow there's a red light here on my microphone, how I have that glow. So imagine if that is in front of them because we're looking at their backs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add kind of like a fog effect. So once I get all of this painted and the cross with the fire, I will tape all of them off. And then I'm going to add like a glow in front of them. And then I'll add very high contrast around them so you can see their outlines. And it'll blend the foreground into the middle ground. And I think it'll look really cool. So that is my game plan. I could do this very simply in Photoshop, but I don't think it would look as good. I personally don't. I'm all about the traditional medium. Cecil's like, just digital painted. I'm like, I won't like it if it's digital painted. I rarely like anything that's digital painted. Very, very, very rarely. But that is my game plan. So I can try to zoom in. My camera is almost as zoomed in as it can get. If you guys want a better angle, I'm just kind of worried that it's just going to be like the back of my head, because I'm going to be like, I will try to keep the chat up as much as possible. Ads, 80, thank you for the 5. Yay, my favorite artist streaming. Great Jack show last night. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the super chat. Okay. But so, yeah, that is my plan. And I would like your opinions because I would like you all to be on my side with this about keeping Cecil red. I mean, the only other thing I can think of, because I know we're supposed to be Scooby-Doo. I just think it's so much more iconic to keep Cecil red. Because I don't want this big white blob in the center of this. It's just... This is the thing with Cecil. Oh, wonderfully creative Cecil. It's like the biggest no-no to have everything centered like this. So I'm trying my best to make it as interesting as possible, but it's like everything that could possibly drive me crazy is driving me crazy. Like I texted Cecil, I was like, what the hell? Because there was just a line here. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, that's your leg. And I'm like, how is that a leg? But yeah, it's driving me crazy. But I hope you guys like it. But let me know in the chat, like after, obviously the chat is kind of far away from me, so I'm only going to be able to look up every now and again. But let me know what you guys think, what would look better. Do you guys agree with me that Cecil should be in red? Or Fred has like blue pants and a white top, and then the little collar is blue, and then he has an orange ascot. That will drive me crazy if I have to paint that because it's going to blend in too much. I mean, I could do it. It's going to be a huge eyesore. I just don't want to. I want to keep it red, but you guys can let me know what you think. Maybe I'll put a poll in the chat. Let me do that. Also, hello to everyone. I'm streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube. So I don't really remember how to do polls on Twitch. And I think the polls on Twitch only last like 12 minutes at the longest. But I'm going to leave this poll up the entire time. If I'm not looking at the chat, if somebody new comes in and asks about what that's supposed to be, if one of you guys could kindly explain that for me, I'd appreciate it. Ads 80, thank you for the 2. Go with your instincts, Anna. Keep Cecil red. See, I want to do that because that is what I want, and you're just affirming what I want. But at the same time, Cecil told me to keep it like Fred, and I'm like, it's going to drive you crazy, or it's gonna just drive me crazy. But if I say the chat voted on it, then the weight of that is off of my hands. So let me put my microphone down. I'm going to go add that. Also, I did not fix it. He made Tulip lose the wrong eye, but whatever. I don't have this live stream up. Oh my God, everything is so slow. Thank you, Ads 80. I bet the baby loves Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I turned it on when she was like really little and like couldn't move. She really liked it. So, Nick Wilson, Jack Show was awesome. Nick, you are going around leaving crazy. What's on my tooth? Oh, that's a light. I was like, did I get something on my teeth? My teeth are just shiny, I guess. Nick, you are leaving some crazy freaking comments, man. You need to calm down. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I left a poll, so go and vote what you guys think. How is the audio, by the way, when it's right here? Is it good, bad? Now, Velma, who is supposed to be me, is in a orange sweater, orange long socks, and I don't know why I always thought her skirt was like, whatchamacallit, darker orange, but I guess it's red. So I want you to know painting this is extremely painful. Also, it's really dark in here. Jedi Knight and friend of the Diva Cult. Thank you for the 2. Red like Nick Recator's coat. Oh my god, guys. This is my art channel. I moved a bunch of my paints around. So apparently we are going to be having like crazy rain for the next week. And so I moved everything because it's like I had to get everything that is like close enough to the floor off the floor. And so like everything is all stacked on top of things in here. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But I can't find much. It's one of those things you do everything to prepare and then you can't find anything. But it's been pouring. Adds 80, thank you for the 2. So does that make Tulip do? Yes, Tulip is Scooby-Doo. Cecil didn't paint it, but I kind of want to add the collar. Scooby-Doo, are you? Work to do now. Scooby-Doo, catch the feeling. Good late night paint stream? Huh. I can like, sorry, I can barely read any of it. All right. Yeah, so I've been, I'm trying to think of like the best way to approach the fire for the cross, because whenever you paint something like that, like that's usually something that's in the foreground that you want to stand out. But the thing is, because of the way that this composition was arranged, it has to be in the background. And I don't want it to completely take the focus. I just want it to be an element in the back. I usually don't like painting environments like this unless I'm like out in nature and doing like plein air painting. I really like being there and seeing it. But it was actually kind of fun because obviously it's not very easy to do plein air painting at night. And I'm not typically someone that paints in a lot of layers. I usually paint alla prima, which is a fancy way of saying I paint it all in one shot where it's like just, it's all wet. Obviously, if you've ever seen my, all of my eye paintings, those are all painted in one go. And that's the way I like to work. And even if I'm working on like a bigger project and I come back, it just kind of, I don't know. It's just not my preference to paint it in layers like this, but when you have something like this, it's a lot easier. I wouldn't recommend doing something like this in oils personally. Something like this would probably be better done in acrylics. You know what? I only have like craft acrylics. I don't have any like professional level grade acrylic paints. And I haven't in a really long time. I just never use them. And I'm like, it's not worth like loading up on fancy acrylic paint just to never use it and it dry up. I've always been more of an oil painting kind of person. Sav really likes acrylics. I don't know. To each their own, but I'm an oil kind of girl. All right. That skirt's pretty good. I have to leave in. I'm painting kind of over Cecil's line work, but here, I'll show you. So as you guys can see, Cecil's very beautiful anatomy and sketches. Oh, Cecil. But yeah. I like how out of all of us, like I have like the biggest head. My head is bigger than Cecil's. And like my anatomy makes no sense. Surprisingly, like Cecil drew John kind of the most accurate. Like he has aside from his arms, like John looks like that Scream painting. You know, the one with, but can you guys hear that rain? Okay. Skirt's pretty good. Can you guys hear it? Oh, yeah, guys, go back cash grab too. Cecil got like no promo on that. Let's get Cecil some more backers. Also, what you can do with oils is you can do this thing called glazing, and that's where you paint it in like black and white, and then you can go over it in a hue later. A lot of people will do that. I personally don't. I'm like, I want to go in with color right off the bat. I like it. I like that process better. Oh. This easel is so old and falling apart. That's why I never use. That's why I'm always at my desk. This, both of my hands are inside out. And it's Adds 80, thank you for the 5. I see Gizmo on your shelf. Have you heard about Gremlins 3? Yeah, I think we talked about it on Flashcast once or twice. I don't care what anyone says. It's a Christmas movie. Okay. I need to get a new easel. It's what I'm going to buy myself for Christmas. I was thinking about adding French cleats to my wall, but I'm like, it's too much work. Plus, I like the angle that an easel gives me. French cleats are pretty stuck. So you guys want to hear something funny? So Peaches, his twin brother, is in Tokyo right now. And I asked because my stepdaughter is like super into Pokemon cards and like right now. So like when we asked her what she wants for Christmas, she's like Pokemon cards. And like her birthday's in December as well. So we're like, what do you want for Christmas and your birthday? And she said Pokemon cards. So I texted him and I said, when you're in Japan, you need to get me Pokemon cards and they need to be in Japanese. And you need to get me like one of these fancy schmancy Pokemon decks. And like, because I asked her, I was like, oh, my mom wants to know what kind of Pokemon cards you want. And so she sent me like a picture. So I sent him and I'm like, these are the kind that she wants. So and he's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, just get me at least 2 packs so I can give one to her for her birthday and then the other one on Christmas, since they're like a week apart. And he's like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then he's like, oh, you know what's great? He's like, my parents are coming, so they can take them back in their suitcase with them, so we don't have to like pay the crazy shipping fees. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I think my Christmas / birthday gift kind of got commandeered, because I asked him, I was like, okay, well, how much do I owe you for the Pokemon cards? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then Peaches' mom was like, oh yeah, we got Bella all these Pokemon cards. And I'm like, that was my idea. That was my gift for her. And me and Peaches, like, it does, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as she gets them. But I'm like, we're both like, damn it, now we have to come up with like another gift to get her. So she and it sucks because like anything we get her, she takes it to her mom. So it's like, I know we want her to have it, obviously it's for her, but then she always takes everything to her mom's, and we have to remind her, like, okay, well, then you're not going to have anything when you're here. And then she like takes everything to her mom's and she doesn't have anything when she's here. So I noticed that last year she got wireless headphones and she lost one of them. So she's only had one for like a year. And I told her, I was like, well, why don't you just buy another one? She's like, oh, my mom's mad because she just finished paying it off and I lost it. And I looked it up and I'm like, it's like $50. Like, she can't just get you another one. And she's like, no. And I'm like, all right. And so I've, that's not my responsibility. And I thought her mom would have bought her another pair by now, but she hasn't. So for Christmas or her birthday, I told Peaches, I'm going to get her Beats, the ones that go like this. Cause usually they'll go on sale for like maybe $100. Sometimes they've gone down lower, and I almost bought a pair for myself, and I'm like, I'll never use them. Those are too big for me. I need my AirPods. But for her, because she loses literally everything because she's a kid, I'm like, okay, I'll just get her that. So that's my plan. So I put a pair in my Amazon shopping cart and like probably on like Black Friday or something when it goes on sale. I can get those for her. But then I'm like, I don't know if that should be a Christmas present or a birth. That'll probably be a Christmas present. That's a bit of a bigger gift, I think. And then I'm going to go to this place down here in Southern California. It's called Frankensons. And they sell a lot of Pokemon stuff. So I think I'm just going to go buy her another pack of Pokemon cards. So I'm like, hopefully, maybe out of all the damn Pokemon cards this kid gets, she'll get a good one. Last time, though, she got like a really powerful, like, it wasn't a Bulbasaur, an Ivysaur. She got a really powerful one. And her friend convinced her to trade with him. And we're like, why would you trade that card? And I was like, what did you get in exchange? And I was like, yeah, that wasn't worth the trade. But, you know, kids got to learn. Let's see. I'm hoping out of all the Pokemon cards she gets a good one. I'm just like, gosh, now when I see how much Pokemon cards are worth, especially from like when me and Peaches were kids, I'm just like, man, if I would have kept my goddamn Pokemon cards, because I got them. I'm a girl. I don't care about trading cards. Those are not my thing. I don't know anything. And I'm like, especially when I was a kid, if it wasn't a doll, I didn't care. You know, if it wasn't like this, like, forget about it. I don't care about it. So I remember when, was it Burger King? They had those where they were like the Pokeballs and inside was like the gold card. I had all of them. And I don't even remember liking Burger King. I just remember, you know, people were like, Anna likes toys. And I had them all. And I don't know what the hell happened to them. And then we were at Frankensons and she saw them and she's like, what are those? And me and Peaches like, we like got those for free from Burger King when we were kids. And I remember I'm seeing them and I'm like, I had every single one of these and I had no interest in them. So they weren't opened. And she bought one for $300. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And that's how it goes, right? Now, because this is like animation, I'm just going straight out of the paint tube. I'm not really mixing too many colors like I would usually do to make it look more natural. So it does look very, very vibrant on camera, which I'm happy about. Who's winning in the pool? Like Fred. Oh, traitors. It's okay. It's okay. $300 is how much they're worth. See, people, that's how much they're worth if they're not opened and in pristine condition. But yeah. If I would have fucking known all that shit was gonna be worth money, like even if my parents would have known. Actually, I do need this lowered a bit. Oh no, now it's gonna be stuck just going. All right. I think I'm going to be haunted by these hands and the way Cecil drew them. It's going to live in my mind forever that I never fixed. That I couldn't fix it because I had to leave in Cecil's terrible anatomy. Did you guys see that Cecil made like the top playboard? He was like 2 under Candace Owens. I was like, wow, go Cecil. All for collecting the super chats. I think Ethan got a little jealous. You know who I really owe a cover for is Billy. He asked me years ago to do a she cover for him, and I never had the time to do it. But he's got Rand, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do a painting of Rand for him. He was nice enough to get me into Comic-Con, so maybe I'll do like a painting for him. Remember years ago when people screamed at the top of their lungs because I didn't do a foil painting for a cover? Well, now here it finally is. Here's me doing an oil painting for a comic book cover. Jesus, can you guys hear that rain? Steve, I know you and I kind of live in the same area. Are you getting the flash flood warnings like I am? I can hear it. Yeah, it's loud, huh? Adds 80, thank you for the super chat. Having just you and Cecil on Jack Show last night felt right. I really enjoyed it. Well, thank you. Just got something on my... No, I mean, John was definitely missed, but I don't know what's going on in John's life, so... Hopefully getting to this to him promptly will make him less angry with me. Nina is going to make baby giraffe emojis for us. Oh, that's sweet. I haven't seen Russell around in a while. What happened to Russell? Has anybody seen from Russell? Is he doing okay? Can we get a wellness check on Russell? Well, at least you guys get relaxing music. Or noise. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining. It's pouring. I remember whenever it would rain like this when I was a kid, my sisters and I would always build like a blanket fort. And we had did you guys all have like a family room and then a living room? And the living room was like the fancy room that you weren't allowed in. It had all like mom's nice furniture in it. Because that's what we had. But the living room was like the first room right when you opened the door, and it was all the fancy furniture we weren't allowed to sit on. And that was the best because that we could build our little fort, and my mom wouldn't get mad because we weren't on the furniture. And it had like a big window, so it would make like a little blanket fort where you could only crawl through, and then look out the window and watch the rain. I did learn when I was a kid how much I hated wet socks, and like when my shoes would get wet and so wet my socks would get wet. I hated that feeling. And so when I was in high school, whenever it would rain, I would wear flip-flops. And everyone would be like, why are you wearing flip-flops? I was like, because I hate having wet socks. And people are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, my feet are going to get wet anyway. So I'm just going to wear flip-flops. And that way, like, the second I get into class, they'll dry. People thought I was crazy, but I still do that to this day. Like, look, these are my grandma shoes that I wear every day. Look at very vibrant. I don't know what's up with my camera. Maybe the exposure. Oh, it's because I have all these lights. But if I took a picture and showed it to you guys, it stands out a little bit better. It's kind of like my worst nightmare. Everything is wrong. 8 hours of girl painting in leaky shack. I really should go to bed because I have to meet someone for Facebook Marketplace tomorrow. I have to drive. It's stupid. Facebook told me it was like this town that's not that far away from me, and it's actually like pretty far, but it's out by where Sav lives. So I just hit up Sav to see if she was busy. So I'll just stop by and see Sav sometime tomorrow. Did you guys see that news article about how the guy from Dawson's Creek, his insurance tapped out, and so now he's having to like auction off his memorabilia from the show to pay for his cancer treatment? I'm like, Jesus, that's awful. Ads 80, thank you for the super chat. I agree about Fight Club, by the way. Thanks. Yeah, I hate Fight Club. Waste my goddamn time. I know a lot of people like that movie. I hate it. do. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know that. That does suck. What does suck? Fight Club reminds me of A Beautiful Mind. I like that movie. I like A Beautiful Mind better than Fight Club, but yeah, what's his face? Russell Crowe's weird in that one. Obviously, he's supposed to be, but it's based on a real guy. Intense schizophrenia, man. That's like everyone that's got special abilities is fucking weird. Like, they have to be weird to be able to do the things that they do. And Stephen Hawking, pretty fucking weird. Oh. I remember the first time I ever watched Scooby-Doo, it was the episode of like a pirate island, and I learned what dry ice was because the pirate like legend is that like fog will come in and that'll bring the pirates. That's like, oh, I wonder where that story's from. But then they figured out, they're like, oh, they're dropping dry ice into the water that's creating the fog, and I didn't know what dry ice was because I was a little kid. My parents told me. I think the dog's outside. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. So a section over here got flooded and it's all wet, and I think it ruined a bunch of my canvases. So I need to clean that up. I'm not happy. Damn it. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh. Damn it. No. Oh. Damn. All right, guys. I have a flood situation going on. I have to go and take care of this. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching for an hour. Leave me a comment in the comment section of this live stream if you guys are watching on YouTube. Also, smash the like button. That helps out the algorithm. But let me know. I think the poll says keep it like Fred. But yeah, just leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If there's anything you have any recommendations for, let me know. But I got to deal with this flood situation. Also, thank you for all the super chats. Adds 80, thank you for the 5. Thank you for a stand on paternity test and child support too. I thought that was brave of you. Oh, well, thanks.
I'm glad that you liked it. Okay. But thank you so much, everyone. Fingers crossed I can salvage some of this, but I think I'm gonna have to throw away a lot of this. So yeah, wish me luck. I'll see you guys later. One last one. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Bye.